skillful means, saying, quote, "We are Shravakas and still very far away from attaining the Buddha path." They save immeasurable sentient beings, all of whom they cause to attain perfection. And they even cause those who are lazy or who have lowly intentions gradually to become Buddhas. These beings secretly carry out the Bodhisattva practice while outwardly calling themselves Shravakas. Having little desire, their thoughts fixed on birth and death, they in fact purify the Buddha lands. These bodhisattvas show sentient beings that they have the three poisons, and further, they reveal the mark of false views. In this way, my disciples save sentient beings through skillful means. If I fully disclosed that they had taken on various forms, the sentient beings hearing this would immediately become doubtful. This Purna has now practiced the path under thousands of kotis of Buddhas in the past, and he has propagated and protected the teaching of these Buddhas. Seeking the highest wisdom under all these Buddhas, he showed that he was the foremost among the disciples, and that he was knowledgeable and wise. Fearless in his teaching, he was able to gladden the people. He never tired in performing the actions of a Buddha. He has already attained the great transcendent powers and is endowed with the fourfold unobstructed wisdom. Knowing whether the faculties of sentient beings are sharp or dull, he always teaches the pure Dharma. Expounding such doctrines as these, he has taught thousands of kotis of beings, and by making them abide in the Mahayana teaching, he himself has purified his Buddha land. In the future, he will also pay homage to incalculable and innumerable Buddhas, protect and propagate the true Dharma, and also purify his Buddha land. He will always fearlessly teach the Dharma, using his skillful means, save incalculable sentient beings, and enable them to achieve omniscience. Paying homage to all the Tathagatas and preserving the treasure house of the Dharma, he will eventually become the Buddha called Dharma Prabhasa. His land will be called Sudhisuddha, which will consist of the 7 treasures. His Kalpa will be called Ratnava Mahasa. There will be a large number of bodhisattvas there, numbering immeasurable kotis. His Buddha land will be filled with bodhisattvas who have attained great transcendent powers and are endowed with dignity. There will also be innumerable Shravakas who have perfected the 3 sciences, the 8 liberations, and the fourfold unobstructed wisdom. Such beings as these will form the Sangha. The sentient beings in his land will have already cut themselves off from sexual desires. Everyone there will thus be pure and born spontaneously with bodies adorned with the 32 marks. They will feast on delight in the Dharma and pleasure in meditation, never thinking of eating anything else. There will neither be women nor troubled states of existence. The qualities of the monk Purna will be completely perfected, and there will be many wise people in this pure land. I am now only briefly explaining these immeasurable things. Thereupon, there were 1,200 arhats who had attained complete mental discipline, who thought this, quote, "We have joyfully attained an unprecedented experience. If the Bhagavat would give each of us a prediction like those he has given the other great disciples, we would be overjoyed." The Buddha, knowing their minds, addressed Mahakasyapa, saying, quote, "I shall now bestow the prediction of highest complete enlightenment, one by one, on these 1,200 arhats who are in my presence. My great disciple, the monk Ajnatakau Dinya, who is in this assembly, will pay homage to 62,000 of kotis of Buddhas. He will thereafter become the Buddha called Samantaprabha, a Tathagata, Arhat, completely enlightened, perfect in knowledge and conduct, well-departed, knower of the world, unsurpassed, tamer of humans, teacher of devas and humans, Buddha, Bhagavat. The 500 Arhats, beginning with Uryuduva Kasyapa, Gaya Kasyapa, Nadi Kasyapa, Kalodayan, Udayan, Aniruddha, Rivata, Kahina, Bakula, Chunda, Svagata, and the others will all attain highest complete enlightenment. They will all have the same name, that of Samantaprabha. Then the Bhagavad, wanting to elaborate the meaning of this further, spoke these verses. Among Kaudinya will be immeasurable Buddhas, and after incalculable countless have passed, he will attain perfect enlightenment. He will always emit a great ray of light and will be endowed with transcendent powers. His fame will spread universally throughout the 10 directions. He will be honored by all beings and will always teach the highest path. He will therefore be called Samantaprabha. His land will be pure, and the bodhisattvas there will all be of great vigor. They will all ascend marvelous towers and roam in the lands of the 10 directions. They will present the most excellent offerings to all of the Buddhas. After having shown their reverence in this way, they will be full of great joy and immediately return to their own lands. Such will be their transcendent powers. The lifespan of this Buddha will be 60,000 kalpas, and the true Dharma will last twice as long as his lifespan. The semblance Dharma will last twice as long as this. When the Dharma disappears, the devas and humans will grieve. Those 500 monks will become Buddhas, each in their turn, all having the same name, Samantaprabha. They will give predictions, one after the other, saying, after my parinirvana, so-and-so will become a Buddha. The world he inspires will be exactly like mine today. The embellishments of their lands, all the transcendent powers, the assembly of bodhisattvas and shravakas, the true and semblance dharma, the lifespan and duration of the kalpa will be just as I explained before. O Kasyapa, you now know that the 500 Arhats, whose minds are free, and the remaining shravakas will also be exactly like this. You should teach those who are not in this assembly. Thereupon, the 500 Arhats, having obtained their predictions from the Buddha, were joyful and ecstatic. They rose from their seats, approached the Buddha, bowed until their foreheads touched his feet, repented of their faults, and reproached themselves, saying, O Bhagavat, we have always thought we had attained complete nirvana. We now realize that we were ignorant. Why is exactly like this. For a long time, the Bhagavad has led and inspired us through his compassion and planted in us the highest aspiration. When we were ignorant, we neither noticed nor knew. We were satisfied with attaining only a small measure of nirvana and did not seek for the rest. Now, the Buddha has enlightened us, saying, "This is not the real nirvana. Attaining the highest wisdom of the Buddhas is indeed the only real nirvana." Now, having heard the predictions from the Buddha and of the adorned lands and the subsequent predictions, we universally rejoice